Morning and welcome to Jesus Meditations. So we'll begin with the invocation from Inayat Khan towards the One, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the Spirit of guidance. Amen. And then we'll visit the elemental breaths with the Aramaic concentration on each of these breaths. So I'll put that in the chat window for you if you need it. And so we'll begin with the breath of earth, breathing in through the nose, Allah, and breathing out through the nose, Ar-ah. So again, the breath of earth is in and out through the nose, just attuning to that stability of the ground beneath us, the stability of our bones and muscles and tissues of the earth inside of us that make us, and tuning to the living being of the earth within us and around us. Breathing in Allah and breathing out Ar-ah. Excuse me. Not a good breath of earth, but and then we'll move to the breath and element of water. Water is breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We breathe in again, Allah, always breathing in the source of all, and breathing out Maya through the mouth. Maya being the word for water in Aramaic, and noticing the flowing of life energy, the flowing of the water in our blood vessels between each of our tissues and cells. Noticing the water around us, the lakes, the rivers, the mist on the grass. And just again allowing that element to become living. It is a living being within us and around us. Breathing in Allah, the source of all. Breathing out Maya. Then we'll visit the breath and element of fire. We breathe in through the mouth and breathe out through the nose. And again, breathing in Allah, the source, and breathing out Nurra, the word for light, fire, intelligence, and tuning to that fire within and the warmth of the sun around us, the energy that keeps us warm in each one of our individual cells. Breathing in Allah, breathing out Nurra. we'll attune to the element of air. The breath of air is breathing in through the mouth and breathing out through the mouth. And we breathe in alaha and breathe out ruha. Ruha is the Aramaic word for breath, spirit. Without breath, the soul and the spirit would not be in this body. So we attune to that breath of life, the source of all breath. The air around us that we can feel in our skin, that we take in and breathe out. Breathing in alaha and breathing out ruha. And then the breath of ether, breathing in alaha and breathing out alaha. We're just attuning again to that divine source of all of these elements, giving gratitude for the living being of earth, air, fire, and water that give us life, that make us who we are. And that it's the same elements that make up the world around us. It's just a gentle, refined breath, letting that source, that alaha, breathe you with no effort. And put in the chat window for you the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. We'll say this together. Avun de bashmaya, nek kadishmach, te malchutach, nechwe saviana chaykana, de bashmaya afbar ah. Havlan lachma de sunkanan yaumana, washbalchan kalbain wachtehain. Icona dafklan shvalkan lachayobain, wela tatlan la neshuna, ela patsan min bisha, metol de lachi malkutach, wa haila wa tashbukta, la alam, almin, amen. Okay, so last week we finished up the Beatitudes in Matthew, and I'm just kind of following the flow of Sadi's latest book of Jesus' teachings in Aramaic. And so the next section is the Beatitudes in Luke, which I'm skipping over most of them because they're so similar to Matthew that we're gonna kind of not cover each one of those. But the last one here, I feel like is a nice one to attune to. It's somewhat similar still to maybe the last Beatitude in Matthew, some similar energy to it, but a little bit different focus, I guess, rather than looking at blessing of, that we are blessed despite whatever mean things people are doing to us. This is more of a we are blessing others. So, let me put it in the chat window for you so you can sort of see how this looks in Aramaic, or at least in the English lettering of the Aramaic. So we're saying wa barechu lelein de leitin lechun wa salu al elain de dabirin lechun bakatira. And so in the King James Version, this is saying, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. This is Luke 6:27. That's the King James Version of this beatitude. So let's get a little attunement from our book here. So continuing on, Yeshua asks us to send a breath of positive blessing, barechu, consciously and openly toward the person that curses us. Here, the word for blessing comes from a root that can be rendered radiate a creative, light-filled breath, barechu. The word for curse, the Aramaic leitin, is based on a root lat or lut, meaning to hide something or drag it into the dirt. Bluntly put, our open, clean breath balances and neutralizes the other's covert, dirty one. The benefit is at least ours and possibly theirs. In the phrase, pray for them which despitefully use you, salu al elain de dabrin lachun bakitria, we find a form of the other major word used for bless in the Semitic languages, here translated as pray or salu. From its roots sul, this means becoming an empty channel for blessing to flow. Such blessing is received through our soul, ruha, from the divine reality or from those who have inspired the best behavior in humanity. The word also shows the image of someone leaning toward another, intending good. The despitefully use you part displays the opposite image of someone plowing violently without thought or feeling. Here, the old ways expressed by the Southwest Asian nomadic languages would say, everything feels, even the soil. So treat one another and nature with consciousness and blessing, even when intervening in another's life. Once again, what balances the other's unripe act is its opposite, a ripe one on our part. The secret to Yeshua's method is finding the right match, the magnetic North Pole to another's magnetic South. This entails standing in the middle and feeling both forces, finding the place within from which both seeming opposites arise. This is our soul's connection to Allah, and feeling it means standing in the heart, liba, which can see in both directions. Only from this viewpoint can we witness clearly and then deal with those really bad days. So here's another translation from Sirat-i of this beatitude. From all this, I'm telling you, see your enemies as an out-of-cadence part of yourself. Step by step, love them back into tempo with you, building up the mutual fires of the heart into one warming blaze. Serve those that color you with hate with a dazzle of beauty, showering them clearly with what they secretly long for, but are looking for in all the wrong places. Breathe with pure, unmixed heart toward those who mix you up in their own sullied conspiracies of feeling, and become a clear channel of the Ancient One's best wishes for nature's life, even when others kick you unfeelingly like a clod of dirt. So there you go. So, what I got out of this, at least the two key words that I want to focus on are barechu, which is the word for sending the blessing, or becoming a clear channel for that blessing. And then salu, which is to pray for, and again to send those blessings out, either to yourself, to the world, maybe to those that you are having difficulty with. So again, Bareku, which of course sounds very familiar to us, perhaps in other Semitic languages. The baraka is the word for blessing in Arabic, and then salu sounds a lot like sali or salam, and sending that prayer for peace. Again, beginning with that, becoming that clear channel for peace and blessings. So, as I was working with this yesterday to create kind of some embodied practice, I put it onto a very simple melody, because I know that sometimes it's just easier to feel into these words when it's I don't know, it just kind of came through in my heart on this melody. So the body movement would be, I would encourage, if you wish, to ambare ku, leaning back with hands on the heart and bringing in the blessings of the cosmos, so that you can become that clear channel, but just feeling the blessing in that heart and your own heart. And then that salu, I would encourage to just bring that out from your heart to wherever that prayer and that blessing is needed. Salu. So. Hare ku salu, bare 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 ku salu, I just encourage you to bring that practice onto the breath, breathing in Barehu and breathing out Salu, just becoming that channel of blessing, allowing the unity, the light of the universe to open up your heart more and more to receive that blessing, and Salu to send that blessing out on the breath. And if you wish, you can, if you have a difficult situation in mind, that you can breathe this blessing and this prayer to that situation or that person, and just feel the divine light, unity, reality, love flowing through you. Wabarechu lelein de leitin lachun wasalu al elain de dabrin lachun vakatria. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. Finding that balance within the heart, Baraku, becoming that open channel, and Salu, sending the light and blessings out. So pause the recording for a moment. You can have any sharing. All right, thank you for the sharing. And there was a request to read again one of the things that Sadi wrote about finding that balance. So I'm going to read this paragraph again in case others want to hear it again. So the secret to Yeshua's method is finding the right match, the magnetic north pole to another's magnetic south. This entails standing in the middle and feeling both forces, finding the place within from which both seeming opposites arise. This is our soul's connection to Allah, and feeling it means standing in the heart, Liba, which can see in both directions. Only from this viewpoint can we witness clearly and then deal with those really bad days. I think I'm also going to read his full translation of that, of this one, because I think there's more in there as well that we could hear. From all of this, I'm telling you, see your enemies as an out-of-cadence part of yourself. Step by step, love them back into tempo with you. I'm going to say that again. From all of this, I'm telling you, see your enemies as an out-of-cadence part of yourself. Step by step, love them back into tempo with you, building up the mutual fires of the heart into one warming blaze. Serve those that color you with hate with a dazzle of beauty, showering them clearly with what they are secretly longing for, but are looking for in all the wrong places. Breathe with pure, unmixed heart towards those who mix you up in their own sullied conspiracies of feeling, and become a clear channel of the Ancient One's best wishes for nature's life. Amen. All right, so we will close with the prayer Pir by Hazrat Inayat Khan, tuning to the teachers, guides, Yeshua. Inspire of my mind, consoler of my heart, healer of my spirit. Thy presence lifteth me from earth to heaven. Thy words flow as a sacred river. Thy thought riseth as a divine spring. Thy tender feelings waken sympathy in my heart. Beloved teacher, thy very being is forgiveness. The clouds of doubt and fear are scattered by thy piercing glance. All ignorance vanishes in thy illuminating presence. A new hope is born in my heart by breathing thy peaceful atmosphere. O inspiring guide through life's puzzling ways, in thee I feel abundance of blessing. Amen. Thank you, friends. See you next week.